Today we have come to the end. That is, we are doing the last or the final poem of this very course. So I would like to welcome you all in my class. Today, as you can see on the screen, we can see we are just going to do a poem that is past and present. So as you can see the photo of the poet there, picture of the poet. This poet is Thomas Wood. So most of the students say Thomas. This is not Thomas. Thomas is Thomas. We say Thomas Hood. So Thomas Hood is an English poet. He was born in 1799 and he died in 1845. He lived for 46 years. Okay. He is very famous for his sentimental poems, and he also wrote many humorous poems too. Mainly today, in the poem entitled Past and Present, the poet is talking about his childhood memories. He is discussing his childhood days, right? And he is also trying to compare the days of his childhood and the present day now, present situation now. So this poem also compares the poet's childhood and the present days. Now he has become adult and he remembers the happy past days, and he is comparing these days with the very tiresome days now. So as we have already discussed, the poet remembers his happy childhood days. He also makes comparison between his present state of adulthood and the childhood, his childhood, and he becomes nostalgic. What is nostalgic? Nostalgic is a kind of feeling that we have in our mind when we just go back to our past. We may have happy days or we may have sorrowful days we have experienced. This is what we say nostalgic. So when we remember our happy days, we become nostalgic. When we also remember our sad days, right, sorrowful days, we also become nostalgic. So the poet has become nostalgic here because he remembers his past. Now let's go to the lines of the poems. There are 8 lines in each stanza, you can see, and you see every second and fourth and every 6th and 8th words rhyming with each other. In red color you can see bone and moon. These 2 words are rhyming, and day and away, these 2 words are also rhyming. So let me read the poem. I remember the house where I was born, the little window where the sun came peeping in at morn. He never came a wink too soon, nor brought too long a day, but now I often wish the night had borne my breath away. Looking at the lines of these poems, the poet remembers his house. There are 2 things he remembers. The first thing he remembers is the house where he was born. And the second thing he remembers was the window from where the sun rays would enter, right? So you can also find some of the words here difficult. Just you see the words which you need to know. Peep. What is peep? Peeping. Peep is the first form of the verb. Peep means look secretly. We can peep through the windows. Just like the sun rays also peep through the windows. Means sun rays peeping at the moon means sun rays coming into the room in the morning. Moon means here morning. Okay. And wink. What is wink? Wink is just like opening and closing one eyes quickly. We wink. We have blink and we have wink. So we wink voluntarily as our wish, at our will. Blinking is involuntary. This happens automatically. So they can go synonymously, right? Wink and blink. And in these lines, the poet is remembering his house where he was born. The poet also remembers the windows from where the sun rays would enter into the room in the morning. And he finds these days very, very happy. He finds these days very, very, just he remembers these days because he was very, very happy at that very time. And he would also expect these days would come again, because on those very days the poet remembers these days. Why? Because he would like to have let's say these days, the morning would come in a very short period of time. He would just sleep, and in a wink of the time, in the blink of the time, the morning would come, and he would be very, very happy looking at the morning rays. But the time had changed. Now he has become older, he has grown up, and he expects these days to come again. It does not happen now. So he is comparing the childhood days with the present days now. But now I often wish the night had borne my breath away. It takes a long time for him to see the morning nowadays. It takes his breath away. That's why in these lines the poet is talking about his childhood days that were very, very happy, but he has now grown up, and these days he just expects to come again. Let's move to the next lines. I remember the roses red and white, the violets and lily cups, those flowers made of light, the lilacs where the robin would build, and where my brother set the laburnum on his birthday, the tree is living yet. See? Now you see the rhyming words there. The rhyming words are white and light. So you can see them in red color. And in the same way you can see the sixth and the last word in the eighth line, set and yet. These are also the rhyming words. What are the difficult words here? You can see the flower names here. You can see the name of the trees here. Okay, these are a little bit difficult. I will show you with the pictures also, so that it will be easier for you to understand. Violets. The word violet. Violet means this is a very small plant with purple and white flowers. Violets. The same way lily, you must have heard about lily. Very beautiful flower. It is large and brightly colored white flowers with petal curling back, turning back. Okay, lily. I will show you the picture too. Lilacs. Lilacs refers to a bush or the small tree with purple or white flowers. So they look all same, violets, purple, white flowers, lilacs, purple, white flowers. When you see the picture, you can be clear. Robin is a bird. Robin is a bird that has a red breast. So at this very side, on the breast, it is red in color. Laburnum. Laburnum is a small tree with hanging bunches of yellow flowers. You also find there yellow flowers there in the laburnum. Let's see the picture first, okay, so that we understand what lilac is, what lily is, what violets are, what robin is, what laburnum is, and then we will be talking about what the lines of the poem express. Look at the picture. This is a flower, very beautiful flower, right? This is violet, so purple color you can see. You can see next picture, that is white in color and petals turning back from the center. This is a lily. And the next flower you can see is also very beautiful flower, right? Attractive. This fascinates you. These are lilacs. And the next, there is a bird. This bird is robin. And there is one tree with yellow flowers. This is, as we have already said, laburnum. Okay. See now, let's go back to the poem again. Yes, in these lines the poet talks about different colored flowers and the happiness that he would get by looking at them, right? So he says, I remember the roses red and white, the violets and the lily cups, those flowers made of light, the lilacs where the robin built, and where my brother set the laburnum on his birthday, the tree is living yet. Okay, So now the poet remembers the roses. Roses can be red as well as white, and roses can be of different colors. He also remembers the violets. He also remembers the lily cups. These are the flowers that would attract him, that would fascinate him in his very childhood. That means the poet is also fascinated by the beauty of nature also, beautiful flowers also, multifarious flowers also, because all these flowers were made of light, means very bright colored flowers. And the lilacs, he remembers the lilacs. He remembers the robin bird building its nest on the lilacs, and he just expects that, oh my God, these days are so happy days. My childhood was very, very happy. Okay, and he also remembers the laburnum, his brother setting laburnum trees on the birthday. These were the very, very happy days for him. He remembers these days, the flowers, the laburnum, the birthday, brother's birthday. Still, the laburnum he set on the birthday is still living. The poet here means to say that this is still living, but I am growing older. So he remembers very, very happy days at that very time. He compares that very happy childhood days with the life he has got now. He is not so much satisfied with the life that he is living now. Okay, so he compares his childhood days and the days now. Now you can say the lines. I remember where I used to swing and thought the air must rush as fresh to swallows on the wing. My spirit flew in feathers then, that is so heavy now, and summer pools could hardly cool the fever on my brow. Do you find the difficult words here? I guess you know the rhyming words there, and you just see the words that are very difficult, or that may be difficult for you. Swing means move back and forth. I will show you the picture what swing means here, and when you look at the picture you may easily understand. Okay, and rush means run hurriedly, run very fast. Swallow is a bird, and spirit flew in feathers means become very, very happy. I became very, very happy. My spirit flew in the feathers, like the light. Feathers are very light, and I feel very, very happy. When we feel happy, we also feel very, very light. Brow is forehead. Let me just show you the picture. Swing. This is swinging. So in your childhood, you must have done this. Okay, this is swinging. The gull is swinging there. You find the bird that is swallow. In Nepal, it is gauthali. Okay, gauthali is a very beautiful bird, flying very fast, very hurriedly. Okay, let me just discuss what the lines mean. I remember where I used to swing. Look, the poet remembers his childhood days when he used to swing. He used to, get pleasure by swinging, and he used to feel so much fresh. As the air is very, very fresh, he also used to feel very, very fresh. He used to feel very light, right? And he used to become very, very happy, swinging, running so hurriedly. Okay, but the days have changed now. He feels so heavy. He is heavy-hearted. So when we are light-hearted, we are very, very happy, right? We are very, very happy. We feel pleasure. We get pleasure. We are fascinated. We want to do lots of things. But now, the poet feels so happy because he is very, very sad now. He feels very sad. And the summer pools could hardly cool the fever on my brow. Look, he is not very happy nowadays. That's why he feels that these summer pools also would not cool his temperature. So that means the poet is not very happy. He is very, very sad. Now let's go for the last one. I remember the fir trees dark and high. I used to think their slender tops were close against the sky. It was childish ignorance. But now that means little boy, to know I am farther off from heaven than when I was a boy. So the writer, the poet, finally he just thinks, he used to think in the wildest manners about the fir trees. Fir trees are very, very high, they are slender tops, they have sandal tops, slender tops, okay? They just go close to the sky. When the poet was a small child, he used to think that, oh, these slender tops of the fir trees would touch the sky. It was just the childish ignorance. He did not know much. He did not know that the tops of the trees, they would just touch the sky. But now he realizes that because the trees cannot touch the sky. So that was the childish ignorance. And with that childish ignorance, he used to get very joy. This was a very little joy he would just simply get. Okay? So he used to get pleasure by looking at the fir trees. He used to get pleasure, the slender tops of the fir trees. He used to feel that it would just they would just touch the sky. But later he came to know that it was a childish ignorance. He did not know about that. And he feels now that he is very far from the heaven now. He has grown older. He has become adult. And his happy days are gone. And he remembers those heavenly days where he used to, see the roses or see the fir trees touching the sky, and they all would give him a lot of happiness and pleasure. He used to be filled with happiness, but now he is not so much happy. So he feels that he is very far from the heaven than he was a boy, when he was a boy. When he was a boy, he used to feel that he was in the heaven. But now all these days are gone, and he feels very, very sad, and he remembers his past, and he becomes nostalgic. So that's why this poem, past and present, mainly talks about the poet's childhood days. He remembers the house he was born. He remembers the window from where the sunrise would come. He also remembers the days of his childhood when he used to see many, many beautiful flowers. So this is simply the poet is talking about his experiences, happy experiences in the childhood, and he is not happy now. He compares his childhood with the life now. Okay, so this is all about the poem. Now we can just move to the exercises also. You may have some difficult words. You can simply get fir is a tree, slender means thin, narrow, ignorance means lack of knowledge. When we are ignorant, we do not have lots of knowledge. In the childhood, we are ignorant, but when we grow up, then we know lots of things, and this ignorance can be erased. Fir trees. Now let's go to the exercise that are given in the book. If you turn on the pages of your book after the poem, you can see vocabulary in use. What is the instruction given there? Find the rhyming words for the following words from the poem. See the words born, sun, day, set, swing, high, and joy. Do you think you can just find the rhyming words for these words? Okay, born. We have already discussed, while discussing the poem. What is the rhyming word for born? This is mourn. Mourn. Do you think you find the rhyming word for the word sun? Okay, this is not found in the poem. You don't find the rhyming word for sun here. Day, away. Set, yet. Okay, swing, that is wing. The same way, high, sky, and joy rhymes with boy. And this is the exercise. That's not very difficult, because the similar kind of exercise you have already done while doing the poems previously. Now let's go for fill in the blanks with appropriate words from the poem. The, and there is blank space, tree which the poet's brother used to set on his birthday is still there. You can easily guess. And in your poem also, the words are bold-faced. The words to be used here are bold-faced. If you see the bold-faced words there, then it will be easier for you to find the answer. The answer is laburnum. Second one, the sun used to peep. Okay, in the poem you see peeping, but you have to use the appropriate form. The sun used to peep in the poet's house in the morning through the little window of the house. And you go to see, the poet used to think the air must dash as fresh to swallows on the wings. What's the word? The word is rush. Rush means run hurriedly. And the poet used to think the slender tops of the trees might toss the sky. And the last word, the poet said that he is used to fly in feathers, then now it is so heavy, his spirit. Okay, so these are the words you can simply use. Now let's move to the matching exercise. Words and their meanings. And while doing the poem also we have already discussed. I don't think you have difficulty in doing this. And the answers are given here. Peep means to look quickly and secretly at something. In your book you find the words on your left hand side and the meanings on the right hand side, and you have to match the word with the appropriate meaning. Violets, small plants with purple or white flowers with a sweet, with a sweet that appear in spring. Okay, lily, a large white or brightly colored flower with petals that call back from the center. And in the same way you find the meaning for laburnum, slender, spirit, lilac. You see and you know. And I am not going to read out all these things because we have already discussed. Now let's go for the question answer. I have done some questions and you have to do other questions by yourself too. What's the poem entitled? This is the question that is generally asked. The poem is entitled Past and Present. Okay, and what's the poem about? The poem is about childhood memories of the poet. Poet's childhood memories also you can say. What does the poet remember in the first stanza? What does he remember? I just told you two things he remembers. He remembers the house where he was born and the window from where the sun rays entered in the morning. Okay. What does he wish in the first stanza? What does he wish in the first stanza? He wishes the night would take away his breath. And there are other questions in your book also. You just read the poem, you just try to do these questions, and later if you have any difficulty then we'll be helping you. Okay, so this is much for today. Thank you very much.